As always, we want to say thank you for making zsportslounge.com your choice, the host of affiliates and the military bases stationed all over this planet. We have the opportunity to go on the East Coast, talk to Jake Zweig from the University of New Hampshire football. Thank you for the time, sir.
Good morning. How you doing?
Good, Coach. You know, it's always difficult when you do an intro for the first time, and you're so used to saying head coach. Well, you're one of the main assistants at that program, and that program is doing an incredible job. Undefeated, you're ranked. It's a good time to be at New Hampshire.
It's a great time to be at New Hampshire. You know, we got a great facility up here. We got great coaching staff. Coach McDonald is awesome. But you know, all the good stuff goes to the kids. The kids are awesome. Haven't been around a group of kids that works this hard in a long time. Have to go back to my days as a SEAL in the military, where guys were really pulling their weight every day, and everybody was fighting to be the guy.
Well, I think in the military, I pretty much know this in military life, is you go through basic training where you're not a team. As you go through that process and you finally get stationed, you learn how to be a team. A lot of corporate identities do not have that sense of feel or sense of duty. In a football team, you've got to have that team and that trust and that unity. What have you brought from your experiences to this football team? You guys you're winning impressively, and you're being very, very well acknowledged in the press right now.
You know, I guess my part is only a small part. I bring attention to detail to the overall picture, especially at my position group at D-line. We had 13 sacks last year, and we're up to 15 this year, and we just made a focus that this year we're going to get some pressure on the quarterback. We really haven't done a lot of stuff differently. I've taught some things differently as a D-line coach this year. But the overall bottom line is the kids are just a far better unit, and they want to play harder. Coach Mack does a great job of getting the absolute most out of our kids by motivating them.
Coach, when you sit there and you go through preseason, do you really see, we talk to coaches across the country, when they look at preseason and what happens, because a lot of times you're running 7-on-7s, you're running just D-line drills. Did you all know what a special team you had here, Coach Zeg?
I'll tell you the truth, though. When I got to University of New Hampshire in March of last year, we had just started spring workouts, winter conditioning. When I got here, I knew this place was special. The way we do winter workouts, the way the kids respond, the way we compete in every drill, I knew that we had something special. And, this team up here in New Hampshire has been doing it this way for a long time, and that's a big credit to Coach Mack and to the kids that we recruit up here. We know how to get after it up here.
Clearly, you've had some very successful wins. You've definitely been very prolific at scoring, and obviously your defense has done an awesome job. You've been ranked in almost every category. What is kind of your, shining moment right now this season so far?
You're only as good as your last win. So, to talk about what we've done to this point would be mute if we couldn't win the next game, the next couple of games. So, I really don't like to focus on what we've done, more so what we're going to do. And that, this week, that means University of Massachusetts, they've got a great run game. They're throwing the ball around. They ran well with Kansas State, a Big 12 team. So we got our work cut out for us this week.
You look at the previous games, and your defense has come up big in many of those key victories you have for yourself. When you look at University of Massachusetts, what are kind of the students or the athletes that are really going to have to step up this coming game for you?
It's across the board. We got a pretty good team. Our defensive line has to play well. Obviously, the secondary, it's just a team effort. Who's going to step up this week? The kicker stepped up for us in this game pretty big, made a game-winning field goal. Defense stepped up, got an interception when we needed a turnover. The offensive line's been doing a great job. The offense has been putting points on the board. So, it's hard to single out one guy because you just don't know who's going to pull the trigger this week.
Which is a nice place to be, because if you have that many gentlemen stepping up each game and it's rotating sort of like a revolver, I think at times as a coach, you're either nervous or excited, and I can hear the excitement in your voice, Coach.
I don't get too nervous. I think games are won Sunday through Friday in practice. and we practice up here pretty well. So
Yeah.
I haven't, being nervous going into a competition isn't really my style. I'm a pretty confident individual, not confident to the point where it's overbearing. I just know that my preparation and my dedication to do everything that I need to do not to lose a game is going to happen.
As far as being an assistant coach to your program, some of the elements we're going to step away for right now and tackle something a little differently. When you look at the landscape of college football, the media attention, the eyes have never more been focused on your league, your conference. At this point in time, how many NFL scouts have approached you, and how many are following your program from week to week now?
I mean, obviously we're a good 1AA program, so we got a handful of kids that the NFL is looking at. You'd like the scouts to be there every day. I always say when the scouts are there, everybody's got a little pop in their step. They bring a little excitement to practice. But, we have scouts come through on a weekly basis. Probably no different than any other school in the conference.
Yeah, and I think if you look at it, the last 20 years, because of the media, the TV, the internet, it really enhances what you all do. When you're looking at a student to come to your program, you already know you have TV cameras and you can sell it. And you also have the opportunity where you know that the student athlete, once he has the academics, you're pretty well going to get him to your program. You got an awesome campus to be at. You got a great location, and you've got the TV and NFL. I don't think there's a better place to be.
No, it's a great place to be up here in New Hampshire. It's a great place. I just moved up here from from Maryland, and the first thing my wife said up here was there's no traffic.
That's right.
Something as simple as being able to actually drive to work and not sit in traffic all day. New Hampshire's got its benefits.
Yeah, and it's a definitely rural type setting. I've traveled through there in business many times, and it's almost like every movie has ever been about New Hampshire. The quiet, the farmlands, the communities, the towns, and the cities. It is right on key.
Yep, that's it.
Now, Coach, when you look down the road right now, you got a playoff system. The hardest, I guess, hardest structure there is a playoff system. Not only do you have to navigate a tough conference schedule, but you've got to find a way to structure it correctly so you actually make the playoffs. Even if you have an all-win, no-loss situation, you still are in question of not making the playoffs. Are you all even looking that far yet at this point in time on making sure that you have every little I, every ear T? Are you just focused on one game at a time?
One game at a time. I mean, if you start looking towards the future, you start losing games real quickly. So, all we really talk about, we would like to win, the conference, make the playoffs. Everybody knows about our conference. It's no secret. We took five teams to the playoffs last year. We got a tough conference. That goes without question. Teams in our conference, I think we beat 5 1A teams this year. So, and then, James Madison University took Maryland into overtime.
Yep.
So, all we've got to do is keep doing what we're doing, keep working hard. The kids, they understand that, so it's not a problem there. And, we're getting ready for University of Massachusetts this week. Big rivalry game with the state right below us. So.
Yeah, there's no love. So it's sort of like the Michigan-Ohio State game. It's the biggest game for the state of, for Michigan and the state of Michigan. There's no love lost between the two schools.
No, not at all. Not at all.
It's a good brawl. Coach, I want to say thanks for showing up and being so tough. We greatly appreciate the time, effort, and service you provided to this country.
No problem.
One moment, we are off the air. Coach?